It's HPP Treasure Talk. It's HPP Treasure Talk. It's HPP Treasure Talk.
HPP Treasure Talk is a webcast created by Shay
It's
Irvin, the
HPP
author of
Treasure
his
Talk.
Purple Peculiar Treasure trilogy. This platform was created to honor leaders who are making positive impacts in society and are truly set apart and set aside from the rest. These leaders are given space to share their experiences and achievements in hopes to inspire others to make their own footprint on the world. It's HPP Treasure Talk, and here is your host, Shay.
It's HPP Treasure Talk.
In the building with my guy, y'all. This is my cousin. This is not my play cousin because I got
Come
to keep
on
it
now.
transparent with the people. It's not my play cousin. It's not my cousin's cousin, y'all. It's my cousin for
Yeah.
real.
Yay, say
Hey,
that.
our prophet, how are you?
All is well. How you doing, Shay?
Man, I'm doing so good and so blessed that I have you here today. I'm excited to talk about your journey. I'm excited to talk about all the amazing things that I hate to say that I didn't even know that you were doing. So let's jump right in if that's okay with you.
Let's get into it.
Okay. So my first question I ask all of my guests is if someone didn't know who you were and what you have done, who would you say AR the prophet is?
Man, first of all, say AR the prophet is a man of God, child of God.
Come
Um,
on.
I would say that I'm an educator, an advocate for sickle cell, patient advocate living with sickle cell disease. And man, just out here trying to spread big love, man, and living my purpose. Feel me?
Yes, you doing well from what I've been seeing. You doing very, very well. So I want to jump into it for those that don't know, and I'll be honest, I did do a little research on it. And I remember hearing about it like when I was a kid for some reason I like heard about it a lot more than I do now. So tell the people what exactly sickle cell is.
So sickle cell is a genetic blood disorder that you're born with. I was born with sickle cell. My mother had me, and it's a painful, rare disease. That's what sickle cell is. It's a genetic blood disorder that you're born with. That the red blood cells, instead of being whole shaped, they're half shaped like sickles, like a crescent moon.
Okay.
So when they travel, they don't get enough oxygen when they travel and flow like normal red blood cells would just flow through the bloodstream, but through the veins and through the body. But when you get a sickle cell crisis called a vaso-occlusion, that's when the blood cells stick together and then they cause chronic pain. So it's almost like a blood clot in a certain area, causing pain to that area. And it's like joint pain. It's a chronic pain illness. And it's also a chronic fatigue illness. So yeah, it's very
So it's a
painful.
lot.
It's a lot going on with sickle cell, and there's also other avenues that come from sickle cell. So it's just
Okay.
one of those rare diseases, man, that it's just special.
Okay. So and I know and I think so and we mean you talked off off camera about this, well, at least through chat. I had another gentleman reach out to me, and I think he might have had a different form. There's different forms of it or something, because I think he reached out and said he had something else that was
Yes,
similar.
genotypes. Sickle cell comes with different genotypes. First of all, in order to have sickle cell, you have to have a trait, a mother and a father who come together with a sickle cell trait. Now, that genotype is usually a regular person's genotype is AA. That's what their genotype is. A person who has sickle cell trait, their genotype is going to be AS, given
Okay.
the S given it that sickle gene, that abnormal hemoglobin. So when the two of the parents come together and one has a sickle cell gene and one has a normal gene, there's a possibility of giving a child sickle cell disease.
Mm.
So within getting the sickle cell disease from two people coming together, there's different type of genotypes within that. So it's all in the chromosomes. It's genetics. It's in the
Wow.
blood system. It's in the DNA. So when they come together, you can have a sickle cell child to be born with sickle cell disease genotype SS, which is the most severe, SC, which is I don't want to say a milder version. All of these are forms of sickle cell. They just, have their own, they all different in their own ways. And
Right,
then
right.
you also have sickle cell beta thalassemia, and that's also a form of sickle cell. So um, these are different types. SS is the most severe. That's what I have, sickle cell genotype SS. And yeah, it's very painful.
And I want to get into that and talk a little bit about that, but I want to start out with your childhood. So this is something that you was born with. And so when did your parents realize that you had it? When did you tell me a little bit about how your childhood has played out or had played out with this disease?
So when I was 3 months is when my mom figured out that I had. That's when we figured out that I was had diagnosed with sickle cell disease.
Okay.
I was born with it. I was born in 1987. At that time, they weren't doing newborn screening. Newborn screening, I believe, started in the early 90s. I believe 91. But I was born in 1987, so I wasn't given the newborn screening. So when I came out, I had sickle cell disease, but it wasn't on paper.
Right.
Until 3 months of when I was 3 months into this world, my mom said I was just always crying and swollen up, and I had a fever. And she took me to the hospital in the ER, and they told her that she was feeding me too much salt. Somehow I was having too much salt intake. And my mom's like, salt intake? This kid ain't, this is a baby. He ain't getting that much
Right.
salt.
Like, where are you getting salt from?
Like, she said she took me back home, and that night it was like I was just nonstop crying and screaming. She said everything was swollen up, so she took me back, and she's like, "Nah, something ain't right with my baby. Y'all need to do, run some more tests." So they ran some further tests, and they found to say that I had sickle cell disease genotype SS. 3 months. So that's when I was diagnosed.
And then as you grow up, so talk to me about, you said it's painful. What does it look like when you get sick? How often, how does that play out when you're a child, if you feel like
So
going through that?
when I was a child, I was active. I'm always active. I was born in July, the middle of July when it's hot. So I'm
Right.
outside. I'm an outdoors baby. I gotta be outside. And just me having that free spirit and always trying to keep up. I had older brothers, older cousins, and I was always just trying to keep up with the fam and the homies. Just always overexerting myself, just always being in the hospital, never really understanding how to eat nutrition wise. We come from a neighborhood where nutrition and was never taught. We never was educated
Right.
on how to really eat and how to sustain and heal our bodies through food. So I struggled a lot as a child growing up. I tried to play sports. I played sports. I never let nothing hold me back. But always, though, I was in the hospital for overexertion. And like I said, I'm a summer baby. So, and also I'm a water sign, Cancer. So I just love that water. And I always sick swimming. I couldn't miss a day without swimming. And it was just like, just other things that a lot of kids never have to worry about is the things that I always had to prepare for. Like always layering up, being from the Midwest, always having to have more clothes on in case it, get cold and the sun drop. Just little things that I had to educate myself with along the way, to learn my body and figure out myself.
So is that like some of the symptoms? Because I know with blood, because I know I've heard, like, my mom was anemic and she was always cold. So you
Yeah,
saying layer up, are you always cold? You're always cold? Is that one of the
yeah.
symptoms?
Always,
Okay.
it's always like the slightest breeze, the slightest weather.
Freezing.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
being outside from being outside in a hot heat out here in Florida, and then going into a store where the AC is booming. Just always having on long sleeves, because I'll be outside sweating, and I walk into a building where the AC pumping. Now I got to deal with all of the sweat getting hit with the cold air. My body's just different.
right, right. And
It's
so
just
then when you talk about your overexertion, about you being outside, is that something that affects it negative? Like if you are too overexerted outside, does that make you sick?
most definite.
Okay.
Overexert your body and you don't have the proper oxygen and the proper intake, what you need fuel wise, medicine wise, natural supplement wise. you would definitely deoxygenate yourself just running and running, especially if you ain't drinking the right water and the amount of water that you should be intaking. And then
Right.
also learning, to drink more than just water, natural juices and things that's really going to oxygenate the cells and bring real hydration to the cells.
Right. Right.
You will
Okay,
get
so
sick
let's.
on that
Oh,
type
sorry.
of
Go
stuff.
ahead, hon.
Mom said, I
Go ahead.
said, yeah, that's a way that you can get sick when the weather change and you being prepared and just always on go.
Right. Right. Well, and that's with anybody really too, because that's how it be, 100%. So let's move forward to you being an adult now. And when you as you get older, does the amount of times that you get sick stop because you know more about how to handle it, or is it kind of still the same? Tell me about adult living with it.
So adult living with it, it's a little of the same. As an adult,
Okay.
you gotta just be more on top of your game because the bounce back that you had when you would go into a sickle cell crisis as a child, as a young child, and then as a teenager, and then as a older adult, it's like it's not the same. The body
Yeah.
is getting different. It starts a lot of wear and tear. The treatment for sickle cell is just a lot for the body. So as an adult, you just always have to understand yourself with sickle cell. Just be proactive. You can't allow sickle cell to have its way with you. You got to be on top of sickle
Mhm.
cell. So that just looks like knowing your body with sickle cell. And I can't speak
Right.
for everybody else. I've learned my body with sickle cell. So I learned the things that I can and can't eat. That was number one. I come from the neighborhood where we was on, little Debbie snacks, hot
Right.
fries, hot Cheetos, all the wrong
Right.
uh
Right.
canned goods, freezer food, noodle packs. Like I come from that era, so I was always eating the wrong stuff. That's why I always stay sick. But now that I done cut out all that type of junk that I eat and consume, I'm better off now. You know what I'm saying? Like my body is good. I know when I eat too much sugar and have too much sugar intake, that my body starts aching. I start having pain. When I start eating too much fried foods and red meats and all of that processed meats and food, then my whole immune system shut down. That caused a crisis. So it's just me understanding the things that I put in my body. And that was the number one thing for me because food, having self-discipline over food is like it's a real thing. You really got
Man, it is.
that's one of the number one things that we do throughout the day on a consistent basis. So it's feed ourselves. So if you could be mindful of putting the right things inside your body to fuel your body and give your body energy and help you thrive, then you'll be better off. I know a lot of us we eat food based on sight and taste, you know, um, and that's always been bad when it comes for me and my sickle cell. So I just learned to stay away from the things that I grew up on. Don't get me wrong, I love fried chicken. I
Right.
love, I'm saying, snacks and all of that. I don't eat candy no more. But if I want cookies and pies and cakes, I'll be cooking it. I'm cooking it now. I'm just,
Right.
like I can't have it. I'm in moderation now. Back then,
Right.
we fill up on garbage and junk. We'll be hungry and just fill up on nonsense, not even food. So just understanding that type of thing.
Well, and food with everybody, right? Whether
Yeah,
you have and I would say a dis-ease, not really a disease, but is hard for everybody. Like I work on kind of fast for spiritual reasons, and that's tough, right? Um, but I think a lot of quiet as it's kept, people may or may not know. People eat for comfort. People eat because they bored, right? So even not even like you talked about, eating because of sight and smell, people be like, I ain't got nothing else to do. Oh, there's some cakes, and you know what I mean? And so it's being disciplined from all of that, but also just being disciplined that, oh, I'm not feeling good, or me and old boy, we fighting right now. So I'm about to go to McDonald's and give me some food because it's gonna make me feel, you know what I'm saying? And so I understand the struggle with what you have going on, but it's the struggle, period.
that's
Right.
true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so tell me, and then we'll move on because I don't want to belabor it. But tell me what a crisis looks like, because I'm gonna be honest, like because I always am. I was looking at on some of your Instagram, and I think there you had a picture on there. You didn't look well, fam. You didn't look well at all. So you must have been sick. And I think he was holding, I think a bag of blood, or I don't know what I saw,
Yeah,
but you didn't look well. So talk to
right.
me about what a crisis looks like.
So a crisis can look many different ways. When you have some mild crisis, you have severe crisis, you have those that are just acute, that's really bad. It's literally when your body is deoxygenized and you don't have enough oxygen in your blood cells, and it just causes so much pain because that blood's not flowing. Um, Man, that is very painful. It's caused chronic pain. It could spike temperature. It just looks like taking a lot of pain medication, and if the pain medication don't work, having to seek emergency options because you don't want those organs to start being damaged furthermore because they're not getting what they need.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so you end up in the hospital, or do you have what you need at home?
You end up in the hospital if you can take care of it at home. Most sickle cell crises usually derive from inflammation.
Okay,
Inflammation comes from a lot of the food that we eat, you
okay,
know. So, with that being said, it is very painful because if you could take care of it at home, you could usually take care of it with ibuprofen, 800 milligram, naproxen, 500 milligram, something like that for inflammation. But if that doesn't help, then you would have to use pain medications, you know,
right,
opioids, something stronger. And if
right,
that is,
right,
then I advise you to go to the hospital. ER.
right,
It's like I'm
right,
always for advocating and taking care of yourself at home. But if nothing's working, it's time to seek emergency help because that's something going on in the body that you have no control over, that you don't understand, that you maybe can't fix at home. So
right.
that's why I always say with sickle cell, just being proactive. And I know it ain't easy, but I promise that it's worth it. You know, just understanding sickle cell within yourself and learning how your body, learning your triggers, learning what sets you off and what makes you have a lot of pain. I started learning and understanding that all my pain was coming from my overexertion and the way that I was eating. So, I start calculating down on how I can eat better and, making sure I'm getting the right amount of rest and not,
Right,
exerting myself. So, uh, I believe that everybody's body is different, but everybody with sickle cell is different. You know what I'm saying? Like
right, right,
for women, it's different than it is in men. You know, we all
right,
go
right.
through different trials and tribulations when it comes to sickle cell.
How is family life? And I'm so sad I gotta say this. People gonna think I'm not really your family. I don't know because I don't know if you won't have I don't know if you have any kids. It's been that long. I don't know if you have kids or
Yeah,
you got a wife or so talk to me about that.
I don't have any kids.
Okay.
As of now, I don't have any children.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, do I want children? If I'm blessed with children, that's how
Right, right.
I believe, man. That I let the cards fall how they lay. I don't even get my mind wrapped up in trying to.
Don't get your from somebody with five. They got three of them sitting here looking at me right now. Don't get
Yeah,
don't get wrapped up
like,
in it.
like I just been so blessed that I was able to find myself within this sickle cell, and it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
to the point to where it really got me out of here. I've had a
right.
lot of scares, but at this point, I focus on the gifts and the talents that I've been blessed with. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Things that I'm here for to be able to
Amen.
bring into the community, to be able to help other people. I just want to be
Amen.
an example. So that's why my self-discipline and the way I live and the way I walk and the way I talk, it stems from that, just trying to be the
That's
best I can be. And if that I don't know what that looks like with a female. I done took a whole long break from the whole dating site and everything.
oh,
It's been
have you?
years, yeah, because like I had to really focus on myself and my health and my
Right.
my betterment. Like if you don't understand who you are and yourself and what you want, man, you'll just be a victim to everybody else's problems. And I couldn't
Yeah.
be. I know that I'm special. I know that I'm worth it. And I just had to make sure that I got myself right to be ready for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So in that matter, whenever that time happens, I'm blessed for that. But at this moment, that's why I'm giving the world so much. That's why I'm creating so much. That's why I have so many projects. That's my babies. These are these projects that I'm seeing through from my mind, from a vision in my mind, a thought to be able to execute and produce and give to the world music and visuals and art and painting community courts. It's just a blessing, you know what I'm saying? So that's my baby. That's my, you
I
know what
know
I'm saying?
that's
My,
right.
That's my purpose.
I know that's right. No,
Hey,
that's what's up. And I want to get and what let's get into that. But I want to say too, real quick though, and that's wonderful about you because at the end of the day, I'm kind of doing not kind of I am doing the same thing. I took a break from I'm still single from dating and all that. You know, I gotta work on me right now, my brand and building, right? But I will say, okay, when I posted your video, y'all, he got like 16,000 views in one day. So I go back and look because I'm trying to figure out why this video went up. Like I expected about
going up.
2,000. That's what they get. That's what I usually get. So wait, fam, I go look at the analytics of the video about 90% were female. 90% were female. I said, okay, I see what it is.
It ain't no
So,
problem to getting no. It ain't no problem. They ain't never had no problem getting
right.
no
He
beautiful
said, there
women.
was never no problem with that,
That ain't
huh?
never been no issue for me. It's just knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
man, time is special and it's forever. You know, it ain't forever. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like I don't want to be out here wasting time. You know, I know what I
Man.
know who I am. I know what I'm capable of, and I don't want to be out here being stressed out, treated other than. You know what I'm saying? So now it's at a point there in my life where I know what I want. You know, so I
Right.
don't have to settle. I don't have to accept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I'm focused, and I'm just
Good.
blessed. I'm focused and clean, and it's a beautiful thing.
Amen. So let's get into it. Let's get into all this amazing stuff you're doing. Because I'm trying to tell you, I was trying to keep up, fam. I'm like trying to do my homework, and it's just too much. You got too much going on. Your face is on billboards. You on panels. I'm like, I can't even keep up with everything that you're doing. So talk to me about your advocacy. I know you're a director. You just yeah, it's too much. I'm gonna let you go. Tell me about some of the stuff that you're into right now.
So, man, the advocacy is really beautiful. I advocate for sickle cell, um, wanting to educate and advance the reproductive health within sickle cell. Just being able to educate the people and share my story when it comes to pride, prism, and living with sickle cell and how I overcame. Just being an example. That's been the greatest testimony of my advocacy life. Um, Within that, it's been a blessing to be able to be on panels and work with all the sickle cell communities and be able to get invited to speak at different conferences and participate with my music as well. Like they loving the music, and it's all
Yeah.
because I'm doing it for us. I believe I realize that it's a whole community of us, and I just got to be a voice in it that people could see and hear and be motivated and encouraged by when they see it, when they see me. So that's the
And
big blessing.
I mean, I think I read that you do some literature. You created some literature on sickle
Yeah, I
cell.
did. So yeah, save the mail trunks. I created the literature. Yep. It's a prior prism education that I developed for sickle cell for young men that's living with sickle cell. And
Oh,
it's
that's what's
called
up.
Save the Mail Trunks, Prior Prism Education.
And what's
And
prior prison? That's sickle cell. Is
the
that
prior
like?
prism is an extension of sickle cell that happens within the men. It happens
Oh,
in the penis area where the penis gets erect without no sexual arousal. And it's
what?
due to lack of blood flow, you know?
Okay,
Blood
yeah,
It's in every part of the body. That's why sickle cell is so spontaneous and it can attack so much from the organs to the joints to all the blood vessels. It's just like that. It's one of those things. So within men, um, you have this erection that never goes down, or it's
so you
just
just
like
walk around strong all
hours,
day. That's
hours, long time.
that's
Yeah,
not that's not a good look. It's not a
yeah,
good look at all.
yeah. And then
Wow.
it could cause erectile dysfunction and so much other further damage. So and that's another thing that why I had to just focus and get myself together, because it's like I was going through all of this and I was using it in the wrong way, and I believe that it further damaged me, with
Oh
all of the
yeah.
women that I was ever with. They seen it as a plus, but it was
Right.
hurting me in the end, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then also just being around doctors who wasn't educated about what I was going through. So
Does
yeah,
it also? I think I heard or read, and this is years ago, so I don't know if this is even right. That it affects Black people more or something. Like it.
yeah, it is predominantly black, but it's a blood disease, and it's we've it's it's in the India culture, it's in the Mediterranean culture, it's the
It's all
African,
over.
yeah, but we've integrated within races, so sickle cell has so much more diversity now. It's predominantly a black disease, but it's so
Okay.
much more than that. It's a blood disorder, it's a blood disease. So yeah,
Oh yeah, because you said the mom and the dad together, the
nobody's
baby can
exempt
have
from
it.
sickle cell. You have
Okay.
people
Yeah.
across the world that don't know their genotype and link with another person across the world from a business meeting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just never know. So sickle cell, I like to say, is a blood disease, not a black disease, but it's
Right. Oh, that's good.
predominantly it affects African American.
Right. Is it more male than female? Do you know, or is it
I
just
don't know the
oh, okay? The
so,
statistics on it. Yeah.
but I'm sure it's equal. It's about the same. There's still babies
Right.
being born into this world right now with sickle cell, and that's a
Right.
problem. We should be more advanced to where people understand. Oh, I could go get the electrophoresis test and know if I have sickle cell or not, if I carry the trait or not, and with a partner, they could just go get a simple blood test done. You know,
Right.
we still having sickle cell babies born, and that's why we need more education and more advocacy, and that's what I'm in the fight towards.
And there's no cure, or but there's just
There's
medicine.
there's 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 curative therapies. There's genetically stem cell transplants, bone marrow transplants, things like
Okay.
that. You could get there are people that have been cured from sickle cell, and that live some normal life, depending on the age of when you got the curative therapies done. Also like to let people know that even when you do get curative therapies, gene therapy, stem cell transplant, bone marrow transplant, um, the sickle cell gene gets cured, but whatever damage that sickle cell caused on the body, you still live with. So
Right.
not to scare anybody, because I'm so thankful for the future and so much more that we have in store for sickle cell. The treatment options they're getting better. There's so many more doctors that are pushing the line for sickle cell. There's so many more conferences that are being held, and the education and the advocacy is getting out and it's reaching how it needs to. So there are a lot of people on the front line for sickle cell, and we're advancing. So yeah,
So
please.
good. So there's hope. It's definitely hopeful. There's definitely
It's
hope
very
in the
hopeful.
game.
I'm very
Yeah.
hopeful for the future with sickle cell, but understand your body. Um,
Right.
try
Right.
see what works for you. See what works for you.
So let me get into forward because we this little half hour be going by so fast it makes me angry. Um, AR the prophet. Your name is it just a name? Are you a prophet? Talk to me
Oh, I'm a
about it.
prophet.
I'm trying to see
Hey,
what's
listen,
going down.
I'm a real prophet. I'm foretelling the good news. Hey, it's
Come on.
prophecy every time I speak. And my mother gave me this name long ago when I was a child. So
Really?
yeah, AR is already ready and appointed righteous, and that's what I am. I'm always on top of my game. I'm always ready. And listen, I'm the prophet foretelling the good news. And that's
Amen.
motivational. You know what I'm saying? That's inspirational. That's encouraging the community and the world on just being better and just knowing, never give up. Keep the faith, baby.
Yeah, I know that's right. What's next for you? What's going
Ah,
on? What's next?
it's so much going on. I'm working on this docu series, putting it together. Yeah, for sickle
Shut
cell.
up.
Episode,
Yes.
7 episodes. The first episode's written. I want to start shooting 2025. I want to at least get all 7 done within like a trailer set, so I could showcase what I got going on. And I really want to
Yeah.
fund it because it's special. I'm really educating through visuals. I'm educating through music, and what we doing is special. The music that I'm producing is coming in sound therapy. It's another form of medication. Um,
Yeah.
Frequencies and vibrations. I'm recording at 432 hertz. That's a sound therapy that's healing the body, your mind, body, and spirit. So The
I
music
don't know
that
what 432 hertz means, player, but it seems like it sounds good.
it is, look it up. Look it up. It's a frequency which the body, heals on. It's that high
Okay.
frequency which the body can heal from. There's frequencies for the mental, for the heart, for the whole body, and I'm recording on those levels to make sure I bring that sound therapy for my people that's in the hospital, for when you're not in the hospital, just giving you that real raw music through them good vibrations. That's why people's feeling it, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm blessed for it. I'm working with people
Yeah.
who have sickle cell. My producer, he got sickle cell SS. He from Haiti. Where he's from,
Oh,
his origin is from Haiti, but he right here from Orlando, Florida. Very talented individual. Man, I got some warriors that's on the music that I'm working with, and it's very special, man. We doing great things.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
You,
sickle
yeah,
cell
let me know when.
all right, hold up, my bad. A
No,
sickle
go ahead.
holiday, a sickle cell holiday drop in November 1st. It's a sickle cell holiday album that I crafted and put together in the name of sickle cell, just showing and allowing people to see what we go through when the cold times come through, when the cold seasons come. We
Oh,
spent a lot of
yeah.
times in the hospital, fam. Come holidays, being from Des Moines, Iowa, I was always in the hospital come holidays. So, and I know there's so many other kids around the globe that go through the same thing. And that's why this album is so special, man. 11 tracks. It's very beautiful. It comes out November 1st within a few weeks. And
Yes.
it's special. It's a special body of music. I can't wait for it. I just dropped the studio sessions on YouTube today, and I dropped the interview for it a couple days
I
ago.
seen it. I watched it. I know I
Yeah,
was gonna ask you about it. Yep, I watched it.
right before I got on here with you, I just uploaded that studio session on YouTube, so you can check out how we vibed out and we recorded this album. It's just a special thing that what we doing with music. We really creating. We really creating.
That's funny because if you just dropped it, I just watched it. So I was getting ready for this and I was watching it. So you must have just dropped the interview because I was just looking at it. So yeah, it was dope. Yeah, it was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're doing some amazing stuff. I know you've already dropped a lot of gold nuggets, but give the people what's the best piece of advice that you have ever received.
The best piece of advice I've ever received is time waits for no man.
Come
And it
on
really
now.
doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be proactive. You got to be on top of your job, and you got to consistently work that thing. Man, life is a blessing, and it ain't
Amen.
no stressing within that. So just stay strong and stay working your craft, whatever it is you do, whatever it is that you're good at. Everybody's good
Mhm.
or great at something. You just got to tap into that and just keep working it and be great at it. And shit, that's the best advice.
Amen.
Got time waits for no man, and
I know. I feel
I ain't
you.
playing with time either.
Oh look, because if we do, we ain't gonna win anyway. So I know someone told me that's the one resource that you never can get more of. And I didn't really you don't really think about it like that. But I'm like, yeah, you can get more money, you can get more water, you can get you know what I mean? You can get more everything, but that's one thing that you can never get more of. And so
True.
yeah, you can't waste that. Y'all, thank you so much for being here, family. I miss you.
Big love, me too.
For
This is
real.
a good conversation.
Yeah, wait a minute. So let me ask real quick because I know we gotta go. Florida, the storms that just happened. Did it
I wanted to say, well, I ain't jinxing. We in the middle of it right now, talking.
are
So
you?
if the lights was to flicker and the power went out, you already would know what it is.
Oh, so it's
Listen,
been really bad down there where you're at.
well, it ain't been too bad. I'm in Central Florida, so I'm in Orlando. It ain't too crazy
Okay.
right now. We just getting the bits piece. I'm inland, so we get a
Okay.
lot of wind and rain. It's doing that right now, but we'll see what's going on.
Well, I'm
We
gonna
always
pray for y'all. Be safe down there.
Oh, absolutely. We ready for it all.
Well, you know what? I know somebody was telling me like you should move down to Florida. I'm like, I'm not trying to pack up and leave every year. They're like, no, we ready. We ready. I'm like, okay. Like
And
I
yeah, I
understand.
love
No,
it.
no, yeah. I bet. I've never been, and so I'm gonna get down. I made it to Georgia finally, but I didn't get a chance to go to Florida, so I'm definitely gonna come. I'm gonna come visit you, fam.
Oh yeah, come through. It's tropical. I'll show you some nice spots. Eat some good food, great fruits. Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, y'all. It's been another one. This is AR the Prophet. Y'all check him out. Check out this docu series. That's what I'm really on. This docu
Oh,
series.
hey.
The holiday album is about to drop. I'm excited about that. November 1st. Y'all check him out on all his socials. It's been another one, y'all. You know it's your girl Shay. You know what it is. We going up, set apart, and set aside from the rest. Next week, next Tuesday, I got Paris Careers, Christian hip hop artist. I'm so excited. He's all over my playlist. He's
Yep.
next Tuesday here on HPP Treasure Talk. Y'all take care. Here's a word from our sponsors. See y'all later.
Big love.
And now for our sponsors. Chastity Child Incorporated safeguards children across the nation. Embark with Foster Love on a mission to transform the lives of over 400,000 children in foster care, alongside those who have encountered similar challenges. Contributions to this nonprofit significantly impact the well-being of at-risk youth. Chastity Child supports approximately 7,000 young individuals leaving foster care systems and assists with housing and educating youth to prevent homelessness, unemployment, early parenthood, and substance use disorders. Chastity Child has perpetual authority in Mississippi, Georgia, Connecticut, New York, Florida, and Illinois. If you would like to learn more and support this nonprofit, please go to theconstantnorthernstar.com.